Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing the future of the Star Wars franchise, as I feel that we per usual do here on the channel anyway, but this time we're talking about Star Wars Celebration. The next Star Wars Celebration, which isn't until 2025, is being held in Japan as well, especially as these Hollywood strikes end. What does this mean for the future of the overall industry, but also into the regards of more specifics of with Star Wars and the Star Wars franchise is something that we've already discussed here on the channel in a recent video. Go check that one out if you haven't already. We talked about all the specifics that you might want to know here for the Hollywood strikes for writers and actors now being concluded and having been over now. What does it mean for the future projects, movies, shows, and everything in between for the Star Wars franchise? This video, I wanted to take a moment and discuss what it really means for the Star Wars Celebration as that road begins for 2025. We're going to go ahead, we're going to hop right on into it. In this video, we are going to be taking a read from StarWarsNewsNet.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well as a read. Happy Sunday and welcome back to This Week in a Galaxy Far, Far Away, where I take a look back in the past week in the Star Wars galaxy and connect with you, the reader, with a more informational tone and a combined in the latest news with my personal opinions, newsletter style. Today, we're looking ahead of the Star Wars Celebration as of we're close to the dark chapter that was the summer of the strikes for the writers and the actors. It's been an interesting week in the entertainment business for sure, with the premiere of Marvel's latest tentpole as well as personal fave David Finch's new film. But most importantly, the announcement that the actors in the studios have agreed to a new 3-year contract that guarantees the industry. For one, taking a moment to recap here a bit, with the end of the actor strike and the beginning of a scheduling headache isn't something that we necessarily discussed all that much in the more, specifics video that I had mentioned a little bit earlier on like specific projects for Star Wars, Mandalorian Season 4, Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, everything in between. There's already been too much ink thrown into this topic, so I'll move quickly on this one. However, if we're recapping this week, it's more kind of a mandatory subject to discuss. I've already spelled it out thousands of words into what this means for Star Wars in the immediate term, and also mid and long term at that. And Disney's immediate late term rush kind of backed up my thoughts on some of that as well. The industry has gone from 0 to 60 in a matter of hours. Publicists and studios, as well as award strategists, are in a frenzy to try to book their stars and clients on late night shows or high profile interviews with the trades that will give them and their latest projects the attention that they need, either to get nominated or just to survive in the box office, to get the word out of their new projects, shows, or movies. Just this week alone, Disney moved hell and high of water to get Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston on The Tonight Show so that they could at least somewhat salvage the Marvel's opening and the Loki Season 2 finale viewership, by which, if you're a Marvel fan, I have my Marvel channel linked in the description down below. In the Star Wars land of things, the Ahsoka cast has started to unload their gazillion photos and videos from the set on social media, which I love. And now that they're finally able to discuss the show, it will be the first sign of a wave of post-release promos featuring the actresses. The big media interviews, late night appearances, and even new YouTube and TikTok reels featuring the cast answering the internet's hottest questions, or whatever they do these days at this point. I could even see Disney airing a couple episodes of Ahsoka on their linear networks as an excuse for additional promotion, which I wouldn't blame them for, and I think would be smart. Putting some episodes of Ahsoka maybe on Hulu at the same time is something that would be a smart move. And I also quickly want to mention, with the Ahsoka cast now getting out there and being able to unload these photos and videos and everything in between on their social medias, they're able to discuss the show now in interviews and everything of that nature. It gives us a lot of potential, a lot of possibility to start ramping up some more teases, some more addition to that resume of a possible potential Ahsoka Season 2, something that we've discussed plenty of times in and out here on the channel. And speaking of social media promotion at that, perhaps we can now finally get some news on Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, is the next big live-action Star Wars Disney Plus show, in addition to the Mandoverse coming out early of 2024 next year. Did they need additional filming that had been originally planned for the summer so that they can't just release it just yet, is the question. It's possible, but the show was filed in the US copyright records in July, so we're assuming that their filming and their production is done and over. So after the actors strike and had gone on strike, saying it had a finished date planned for December of this year, that could be up for change, and of course that there have been some rumblings of possible trouble with that show, or perhaps that they were just waiting to see when the strike would end so that they could have Jude Law available to promote it and record adorable videos with the kids to go viral on social media to get the word out of the show as well. I really buy into that one. I really think that's kind kind of what Lucasfilm was doing on that end of things, Disney was doing on that end of things, is just holding out for Star Wars Skeleton Crew to have their actors be able to promote and talk about this, because, and I've talked about this a lot of times I think on the channel here as well, it's kind of just them mucking around and just kind of playing dumb at this point. Like, the studios clearly know they need their actors, but yet they want to just tittle around and not work out any type of deal for their actors at the same time, so it kind of just goes around in a circle. It's over, we don't have to talk about it. Okay, so in terms of other shows, Deadline had published a recent article on Thursday that they kept updating with the return shooting date for TV shows, trying to update the production and the filming as everything's going on and resuming. As of this writing, there is still no mention of Andor Season 2, which was around 4 weeks left of filming in the UK, and from what I've last heard about Andor Season 2 is that they don't actually plan to resume their production and filming until after the holiday season. So January, February is probably where they would actually go on to film and do everything and finish up that last 4 weeks of filming for Andor Season 2. But in the meantime, for Andor Season 2, what I've also heard is that they've been taking the time these last couple months as their actors and writers are on strike, is that they've been taking that footage and editing it already, taking it together and putting it in post already. So a lot of it's already probably done editing, it's just that they have a couple more things to film here and there. So as for The Mandalorian, which was originally supposed to start shooting in October, pre-strikes, we'll hopefully receive more news on that one soon, and I do have a video coming out about that actually shortly, so stay tuned for that by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. That's enough about the shows and projects and everything like that. I'll have other videos coming out here on the channel, of course, as we're getting new updates and everything. I'll keep you guys in the loop with that. Let's talk about the next Star Wars Celebration of 2025. Lucasfilm's VP of Franchise Assets and Publicity, Chris Argelopoulos, posted Monday on social media that he just returned from Japan as part of the company's advance party to start planning Star Wars Celebration 2025. There are still another 18 months ahead of the planned April 18th to 20th event for 2025 event at the Makaria Messi Center in Chiba. My apologies if I mispronounced any of that. It's just outside of Tokyo, but it's nonetheless exciting to look into the future and start to fantasize about what the convention will actually bring, aside from new announcements. Word on the convention floor last year of when the event had returned to Anthem after a 2-year COVID break was that Lucasfilm was going to back into the yearly mode celebrations, as they had a ton of projects to highlight, unlike in 2018 when they took a gap year. That was obviously proven false a few months ago when StarWars.com had announced over a throwaway line that there'd be no convention in 2024, and that in turn that they wouldn't be coming back until 2025. My wallet started dancing in relief, but it also made sense. A short 10-month separation between the events was welcome, but it also made the London days feel like a massive deja vu and like something that never even happened. It was a ton of fun, but also so many people crammed into a little space, so maybe a little bit more planning with that and that they'd be able to work things out with that. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you guys have ever been to a Star Wars Celebration. I'd love to hear. But we do look forward now, and that Japan is on the horizon for its Star Wars Celebration in 2025. What could we possibly see there? Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the next feature films. It's kind of amazing to think that by then we might actually have a clear picture of what's going to be in terms of our film slate. At the moment, we had a lot of ideas thrown against the wall, but we don't really know what's shooting when and what is actually going to shoot, or what's coming out when, despite my best efforts to try and predict them all. The Dave Filoni Star Wars Mandoverse Cultimation movie that was announced at the beginning of this year at this Star Wars Celebration, and the Daisy Ridley return as Rey Skywalker, that movie spinoff, those are definitely going to be happening. It's just a matter of when and where. As for the new Jedi or the beginning of the Jedi movie, by James Mangold, that's one I just don't foresee, to be honest. It just feels too far out and something that's going to kind of catch on to that unfortunate plague that we've had and seen in the last couple of years, ever since 2019, The Rise of Skywalker, with movies being announced and just falling flat and never actually happening. From where we stand today, Japan 2025, it seems like the perfect spot to have a panel celebrating 10 years of The Force Awakens, 20 years of Revenge of the Sith, and also, should things move forward the right way, a panel on Charmin Obid-Chinoy's new Jedi Order era film starring Daisy Ridley and the return of Rey Skywalker. I even feel like the Force Awakens panel should and could tie into the new Jedi Order announcements. By then, they might actually have wrapped filming, so a title announcement, if they haven't done it by then, feels kind of guaranteed at that, along with the first images and maybe even a small behind-the-scenes reel. Obviously, I'm a bit more optimistic here, but hey, one can dream. As far as The Force Awakens anniversary goes, it's the perfect time to bring everybody back out, including Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, and even Mark Hamill. We'd love to see them all. I wouldn't count on Adam Driver, though, even sniffing the convention, though. Maybe they can even bring J.J. Abrams out onto stage to prove the world that he's still alive, and that they aren't holding him captive at Lucasfilm quarters. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that are going to be announced in the next couple of months, and at Star Wars Celebration of 2025, we're here to keep you guys in the loop and keep you guys updated with everything that we know. All the more reason to grab that subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.